v.George. Michael Zimmerman is an American known for the fatal shooting of Trayvon Martin on February 26, 2012 in Sanford, Florida. On July 13, 2013, he was acquitted of second-degree murder in Florida v. George Zimmerman. As of 2015, he remained the subject of media interest due to ongoing controversy over the Trayvon Martin case, as well as a number of other incidents and allegations of violence involving Zimmerman subsequent to his acquittal. Background: Zimmerman was born on October 5, 1983, in Manassas, Virginia, and is the son of Gladys Christina Zimmerman and Robert Zimmerman, Sr. Zimmerman is the third of 4 children, and his siblings include a brother, Robert Jr., and 2 sisters, Grace and Dawn. Gladys Zimmerman was born in Peru and has some black ancestry, through her Afro-Peruvian maternal grandfather. Robert Zimmerman Sr. is an American of German descent and served 22 years in the military, working for the Department of Defense for the last 10 years of his military career. Before retiring to Florida in 2002, Zimmerman Sr. had served as a magistrate in Fairfax County's 19th Judicial District. George Zimmerman had identified himself as Hispanic on voter registration forms. Zimmerman was raised as a Catholic and served as an altar boy from age 7 to 17. Zimmerman attended All Saints Catholic School in Manassas before going to public high school. At age 14, Zimmerman joined an after-school junior reserve officers training corps program because he had wanted to become a Marine. When Zimmerman was 15 years old, he held 3 part-time jobs on nights and weekends to save up for a car. Zimmerman graduated from Osborne High School in 2001. Moved to Florida. After graduating from high school, Zimmerman moved to Lake Mary, Florida, a suburb of Orlando, where he got a job at an insurance agency. Zimmerman took classes at night to obtain a license to sell insurance. It was during this time when he became friends with Leanne Benjamin, a real estate agent, and her husband John Donnelly, a Sanford attorney. Benjamin and Donnelly would both testify on his behalf at his trial in the death of Martin. According to Donnelly, in 2004 Zimmerman and an African-American friend opened a satellite office of Allstate Insurance, which failed a year later. Moved to retreat at Twin Lakes in Sanford. Zimmerman married Shelley Dean, a licensed cosmetologist, in 2007. 2 years later, they rented a townhouse in the retreat at Twin Lakes. Zimmerman had also previously been employed at a car dealership and a mortgage audit firm. Zimmerman enrolled in Seminole State College in 2009 and was working on an associate degree in criminal justice. In December 2011, he was allowed to participate in a school graduation ceremony, even though he was a course credit shy of his degree. He was completing that credit at the time of the shooting. Zimmerman was employed as an insurance underwriter at the time also. In early 2011, Zimmerman participated in a citizen forum at the Sanford City Hall to protest the beating of a black homeless man by the son of a white Sanford police officer. During the meeting, Zimmerman claimed he witnessed disgusting behavior while participating in a ride-along program with local police. However, the police department said it did not know when, if ever, Zimmerman was in that program. Trayvon Martin shooting and trial. On February 26, 2012, Zimmerman fatally shot 17-year-old African-American high school student Trayvon Martin in the retreat at Twin Lakes community in Sanford, Florida. Zimmerman was the neighborhood watch coordinator for the gated community where Martin was temporarily staying and where the shooting took place. The Twin Lakes Neighborhood Watch program was not registered with the National Neighborhood Watch program, but was administered by the local police department. Following an earlier call from Zimmerman, police arrived within 2 minutes of a gunshot during an altercation in which Zimmerman fatally shot Martin, who did not possess any weapons. Zimmerman was subsequently taken into custody, treated for head injuries, then questioned for 5 hours. The police chief said that Zimmerman was released because there was no evidence to refute Zimmerman's claim of having acted in self-defense, and that under Florida's Stand Your Ground statute, the police were prohibited by law from making an arrest. The police chief also said that Zimmerman had had a right to defend himself with lethal force. As news of the case spread, thousands of protesters across the country called for Zimmerman's arrest and a full investigation. 6 weeks after the shooting, amid widespread, intense, and in some cases misleading media coverage, Zimmerman was charged with murder by a special prosecutor appointed by Governor Rick Scott. Zimmerman's trial began on June 10, 2013, in Sanford. On July 13, a jury acquitted Zimmerman of the charges of second-degree murder and manslaughter. For 3 years, the U.S. Department of Justice investigated Zimmerman on civil rights charges. In February 2015, the DOJ concluded there was not sufficient evidence that Zimmerman intentionally violated the civil rights of Martin, saying the Zimmerman case did not meet the high standard for a federal hate crime prosecution. In response to his acquittal, Zimmerman said he felt free to speak his opinion without fear of retaliation. Zimmerman criticized the government and President Obama. He believed Obama inflamed racial tensions. He by far overreached, even broke the law in certain aspects to where you have an innocent American being prosecuted by the federal government. Zimmerman said. According to Zimmerman's brother Robert Jr., in the year following the trial, Zimmerman was both homeless and jobless. Robert Jr. additionally commented that while he believed his brother's state of mind was better, Zimmerman was a very traumatized person because he has had his liberty taken away from him. Zimmerman gained 100 to 125 pounds in about a 16-month period between the shooting of Trayvon Martin and the trial. He weighed over 300 pounds at the trial. It became a source of commentary and speculation in the press on how it might impact the jury's perceptions. On September 28, 2015, Zimmerman retweeted an evidence photograph of Trayvon Martin's body taken at the scene of the shooting and used in the trial. It stayed up for a few days before Twitter took it down. He also tweeted the work phone number of a person unrelated to the shooting, who was subsequently inundated with callers. Zimmerman responded to the controversy on October 5, typing that he had blocked the tweet and was attempting to simply tweet words of encouragement from a supporter. "I do not want to see or relive the night that I was attacked and had to use lethal force to defend my life," Zimmerman wrote. No part of the events that transpired that night were heroic or admirable. Other encounters with law enforcement. Apart from the 2012 Martin shooting, Zimmerman has had other encounters with the law, including 2 incidents in 2005, 5 incidents in 2013 and other incidents in following years. In July 2005, when he was 21, Zimmerman was arrested after shoving an undercover alcohol control agent while a friend of Zimmerman's was being arrested for underage drinking. The officer alleged that Zimmerman had said, "I don't care who you are," followed by a profanity, and had refused to leave the area after the officer had shown his badge. The charges were subsequently dropped when Zimmerman entered a pre-trial diversion program that included anger management classes. Also in 2005, Zimmerman's ex-fiancée filed a restraining order against him, alleging domestic violence. Zimmerman requested a reciprocal restraining order. Both orders were granted. These incidents were raised by prosecutors at Zimmerman's initial bond hearing. The judge described them as run-of-the-mill. Zimmerman's wife, Shelley, pleaded guilty on August 28, 2013, to a reduced misdemeanor perjury charge for lying under oath. She was sentenced to a year's probation and 100 hours of community service. She lied about their assets during a bail hearing following his arrest for shooting Martin. Days before the bond hearing, she moved $74,000, broken into smaller transfers, from his credit union account to hers. $47,000 was transferred from George's account to his sister's in the days before the bond hearing. Amounts of over $10,000 would have been reported to the Internal Revenue Service. 4 days after he was released on bond, she transferred more than $85,500 from her account into her husband's account. The jail recorded Zimmerman instructing her on a call to pay off all the bills, including credit cards. On September 9, 2013, in Lake Mary, police responded to a 911 call by Zimmerman's estranged wife, who reported that Zimmerman had threatened her and her father with a gun and had punched her father in the face. Zimmerman was briefly detained and questioned by police. No gun was found at the scene. Police took a broken iPad from the scene for examination of a video recording of the incident to determine whether to press charges against either Zimmerman or his wife. His wife declined to press charges, later expressing regret about her decision. After determining that the iPad video could not be recovered, the Lake Mary Police Department announced they would not be pressing charges against Zimmerman, his wife, or her father. On November 18, 2013, Zimmerman's girlfriend called the police alleging that after she had asked Zimmerman to leave her home, he had pointed a shotgun at her and begun breaking her belongings. The police reported that Zimmerman had barricaded himself inside the apartment before they had made their way inside and arrested him. He was charged with aggravated assault with a weapon, a felony, as well as domestic violence, battery, and criminal mischief. On December 6, Zimmerman's girlfriend asked that the charges against Zimmerman be dropped and that the restraining order barring him from seeing her be lifted, after which prosecutors said that they would no longer be pursuing a case against him. On January 9, 2015, Zimmerman was arrested by Lake Mary police and charged with aggravated assault with a weapon after allegedly throwing a wine bottle at his ex-girlfriend. He was released on bond the following day. The charges were later dropped after the complainant recanted her story. On July 31, 2016, Zimmerman called the Seminole County Sheriff's Department to report that he had been punched in the face at Gators Riverside Grill in Sanford. Zimmerman told investigators that he had been identified and then assaulted by another patron at the restaurant who accused him of bragging about killing Trayvon Martin. Encounters with Matthew Apperson. On September 9, 2014, Zimmerman was named by police in a road rage incident in which another driver, later named by police as Matthew Apperson, claimed that Zimmerman followed and threatened him. Zimmerman later claimed in a testimony that Apperson approached him over a rear tire leaking air, which Zimmerman was already aware of, and explained this to Apperson before he asked Zimmerman if he knew he was wrong for killing that little black boy. Zimmerman lost Apperson after the two stopped at a gas station and Zimmerman drove off. On May 11, 2015, Apperson admittedly shot at Zimmerman on a street in Lake Mary, causing minor facial injuries from flying glass and debris. Zimmerman flagged down a police officer and was taken to hospital. Apperson maintained that Zimmerman was the aggressor and that Apperson acted in self-defense. Zimmerman also had a gun with him at the time of the incident, but Zimmerman's attorney said that George absolutely denies having shown it, waved, displayed, pointed it, A Lake Mary police spokesperson stated that the investigation has proven that George Zimmerman was not the shooter. On May 15, 2015, Apperson was jailed in Sanford, Florida with a bond of $35,000 on charges related to the shooting. Apperson was ordered to wear a GPS monitor that would alert Zimmerman when he was nearby. Lake Mary PD learned that Apperson has exhibited unusual behaviors in which he had recently been admitted to a mental institution. It appears that Apperson has a fixation on Zimmerman and has displayed some signs of paranoia, anxiety, and bipolar disorder. On June 18, 2015, State Attorney Phil Archer charged Matthew Apperson with second-degree attempted murder. On September 22, 2015, a judge ruled Apperson would stand trial for second-degree attempted murder along with one count of aggravated assault and one count of shooting into an occupied vehicle. Zimmerman testified, denying he had pointed a gun but admitting to having two firearms in his truck that day. Zimmerman further claimed Apperson yelled that Zimmerman owed him his life and shot at him after Zimmerman mocked him by calling him a clown. While free on bond, Apperson was accused, convicted and jailed for disorderly conduct which revoked his bond. On December 10, 2015, Judge Deborah S. Nelson denied Apperson's second bond request, meaning he would stay in Seminole County Jail indefinitely until his trial. Apperson was convicted of attempted murder on September 16, 2016. Media perceptions. Zimmerman was satirized in the South Park episode World War Zimmerman, which premiered on Comedy Central in the United States on October 9, 2013. It parodies World War Z and the George Zimmerman murder trials. One critic called it great social commentary. Conversely, Jack Cashel, politically conservative author of If I Had a Son, Race, Guns, and the Railroading of George Zimmerman, criticized World War Zimmerman. He wrote that South Park had it absolutely wrong, and felt that it was really a shame because they are one of the few sources of common sense in the mainstream media. Paintings. In December 2013, Zimmerman began selling paintings he had made. His first painting, of an American flag, sold for $100,099.99 on eBay in late December. On the auction page for the painting, Zimmerman wrote, "Everyone has been asking what I have been doing with myself. I found a creative way to express myself, my emotions, and the symbols that represent my experiences. My artwork allows me to reflect, providing a therapeutic outlet, and allows me to remain indoors. I hope you enjoy owning this piece as much as I enjoyed creating it. Your friend, George Zimmerman." It was later reported that the American flag painting was copied from a stock image taken from Shutterstock without attribution. In August 2015, Zimmerman began selling a limited number of prints of a painting of the Confederate battle flag in conjunction with gun seller Andy Hallinan of Florida Gun Supply. In Inverness, Florida, Hallinan is known for announcing that Muslims were not welcome at his store, which was Muslim-free. Michael Walsh of Yahoo! News observed, Zimmerman's latest painting brings together three highly controversial topics with which the nation is dealing: the deaths of young black men, the Confederate battle flag, and discrimination against American Muslims. Andrew Rossith of the New York Observer criticized Zimmerman's work, comparing it to Paint by Number. Jason Edward, a contributing editor at Art Plus Auction, referred to the paintings as very primitive, the sort of thing an art critic wouldn't look at twice. Christian Viveros Fauna, an art critic for The Village Voice, has referred to Zimmerman's artistic endeavors as constituting murderabilia. In January 2014, the Associated Press demanded that Zimmerman halt the sale of one of his paintings because the newsagent agency asserted it directly copied an app photo. The photo and painting show Jacksonville-based prosecutor Angela Corey holding her thumb and fingers together. Zimmerman apparently made up the quote that he added to the painting, "I have this much respect for the American judicial system." The controversy was similar to that arising from the use of an app photo by Shepard Fairey in his composition of the Barack Obama Hope poster. Twitter scandals. In late August 2015, controversy centering on Zimmerman arose when his Twitter profile picture of a Confederate flag, backed by an American flag, became better known. Frequently criticized posts of his from August included one in which Zimmerman called Obama an ignorant baboon, one in which he posted an image of Vesperly Flanagan, an African-American former news reporter who shot and killed two ex-co-workers during a broadcast, and wrote, "If Obama had a son," and another in which Zimmerman typed, in response to people who wanted him killed, that the United States understands how it ended for the last moron that hit me. In September 2015, Zimmerman retweeted a photo of Trayvon Martin's slain body posted by another Twitter user with the caption, "Z-Man is a one-man army." Several days later, Zimmerman posted a letter where he said that the photo in the original tweet was marked as sensitive and was blocked, so he retweeted it because of the text message without seeing the photo. In December 2015, Zimmerman tweeted two photos of a topless woman he claimed was his ex-girlfriend, accused her of cheating and theft of his firearm and money. He also put her phone number and email address on his tweet. Less than 2 hours later, Zimmerman's Twitter account was suspended by the administration of the resource according to the policy against posting another person's private and confidential information, including email addresses, phone numbers, and familiar photos. Zimmerman's tweet included a statement against Muslims. He tweeted, "She cheated on me with a dirty Muslim. She'll sleep with anyone." Gun sale. On May 11, 2016, Zimmerman posted what was planned to be auction of the firearm he used to shoot Martin. The post, in which Zimmerman wrote the gun was an American firearm icon, attracted controversy, with Zimmerman subsequently explaining that he had recently had the weapon returned to him from the Justice Department. He further argued that it was his right as the weapon's owner to sell it. Zimmerman said the proceeds of the weapon would go to combating the violence against police officers by members of the Black Lives Matter movement, as well as ensure the demise of Angela Corey's persecution career and Hillary Clinton's anti-firearm rhetoric. Zimmerman would later say, after the weapon's purchase, that he had chosen to sell it directly as a result of Clinton stumping around for a false campaign for the Trayvon Martin Foundation, and accused her of lying about the events of the shooting. Though the auction was set to take place the following day, May 12, it was removed before the auction was scheduled to begin. The original auction site GunBroker.com released a statement stating that they wanted no part in the listing or any of the publicity it was receiving. Zimmerman reposted the firearm on another site, United Gun Group. Within minutes, the site was reported to have gone down due to the intense traffic prompted by the listing. After bidding proceeded, purported bidders began using fake names such as Donald Trump and Tamir Rice to place large bids on the weapon, which were interpreted as a joke, though Martin Shkreli expressed genuine interest so he could either destroy the firearm or place it in a museum. Additional acts of fallacy relating to purchasing the gun were caught by moderators on the bidding sites. On May 18, the auction was reported to have ended, reportedly selling for over $100,000. Zimmerman released a statement thanking both God for a successful auction that has raised funds for several worthy causes, and the United Gun Group for the support in the firearm being sold, though declining to name the purchaser of the weapon, while writing that the process of notifying the weapon's buyer would begin immediately. On May 20, Zimmerman said he accepted a bid of $250,000 for the weapon. Political affiliation. According to the Seminole County voter records, Zimmerman is a member of the Democratic Party. According to his brother Robert, Zimmerman voted for Barack Obama in the 2008 presidential election. Zimmerman has since become a critic of President Obama. On January 5, 2016, shortly after President Obama publicly shed tears for mass shooting victims, Zimmerman mentioned that Obama left out falsehood and called him disgraceful to the country as well as a piece of garbage. Zimmerman was included in 2013 by public policy polling in an Alaska poll for which Republican Party candidate the state would support in the 2016 presidential election. Tom Jensen, director of public policy polling, explained in an email that Zimmerman was included due to his popularity among conservatives, according to Jensen, and a curiosity to see how he would do. Quote, "He received 2% of support among Alaskans.